This is my Honda 404 which refuses to start. It was running, it went down to 2 cylinders and then died on me. The most obvious thing was that it run out of fuel, and lo and behold it did seem very low in the tank, so I've put loads of fresh fuel into it and it still refuses to start, so clearly something else has happened. My first thoughts are that it's fuel, so I could go down that route of checking the fuel immediately, but you know, with these things, with bikes, I think it's better to check all the simple things first. There's nothing more frustrating than finding that the problem you think it is isn't the problem and it was something else. So I'm going to go through the basics of how it runs and check each of the simple components first. First thing to do is to check the air filter. I know it's not the air filter because it's, as you can see, practically brand new. It's probably only done 50 miles since the last time it was changed. So I'm going to assume that it's not the air for now. I'm also going to assume it's not compression. And then there are two other things that it could be, either spark or fuel. Unless of course I've got some gremlin that comes during the night and starts drilling holes in my coils or something. So the first thing to do is to whip out the spark plugs and see what condition they're in and make sure I'm getting a spark. I can do that by grounding them to earth, or I could take this ignition plate off, bring the points around and flick them to see if I've got a big spark. But I'm going to do it with the engine because it's convenient, so press the starter motor and just make sure that I've got a spark. Out of the 4 plugs I've got 3 really good sparks, and this one here is not a very good spark at all, if anything. So I'm going to have to follow that lead back to the source. But the others are all big and fat. I've knocked the plug, I've swapped the plugs over, so it's not the plugs. I'm going to have to follow that and see what's occurring. There is a little spark, but nothing to shout home around, so well, that's one problem. Well that's embarrassing. Here's me thinking I had a major problem. Take those spark plugs out, cleaned them, and guess what? So that's a bit of a non-video. Sorry about that, but these things happen. Just goes to show that the simplest things. This spark plug here, which wasn't working particularly well, you know, I kind of had a feeling that it wasn't anything serious because the electrics are virtually brand new. I've used the old caps because just for authenticity, and that nasty little rubbery bit because, you know, it was off the original one, so I thought I'd continue to use it. But the coils are brand new, and the coil supplies a spark to 2 of the plugs and the other one was fine. So what I've done is I've got that cap and I've tightened it on a lot more. If you know how they fit on, there's a screw inside that cap, and I just screwed it on tighter, and that's obviously done the trick, because now what happens is that I get a great big fat spark and the engine runs. So quick clean of the plugs and we're back up and running. So I might go and take it for a ride now once the battery's charged up fully, and I'm sorry if I wasted your time. Sorry. Okay, bye for now.